I happened to watch Cook Stacy cook, and she made beef and stir-fried onions. This dish is very simple to make, and it goes very well with rice, so let's follow her recipe. So we're going to start off with the green onions. In this case, I'm using 7 stalks of onions because I'm planning to making a big batch to last me a whole week. Then we're going to separate the white part from the onions, and then we're going to cut it in half so that way it's bite-sized. And then we're going to cut that white part of the onion again in half. Then after we're done cutting the white part, we're gonna put it in a little bowl. And now for the green part of the green onion, we want to cut them in 1 inch length. And then after that, we're gonna put the green part of the green onions in a separate bowl. And then we're going to chop and mince 4 cloves of garlic. Then we're going to chop 3 onions. We want the onions to be half a centimeter thick. Then separate all the onions by hand. Then we can move on to our beef. For this dish here, you can use any choice of meat, any cut will work. And then you're going to slice your meat in half a centimeter's thickness. So now we're going to move on to marinating our beef. So we're going to start off by adding 2 teaspoons of soy sauce. And then we're going to add 2 1/4 of dark soy sauce. Then 3/4 teaspoon of oyster sauce. 3/4 teaspoon of sugar. 1 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. And lastly, 4 1/2 teaspoon of cornstarch. Then mix them all together. Then in a pan, we're going to turn on the high heat, put some oil in there, and drop all of our white onions and the white part of the green onions. And then we want to cook the onions halfway through. We're going to add sugar in there, and then add a little bit of salt. After the onions have been cooking for about 3 minutes, it's now time to pull them out. And you can still see that they're not fully cooked yet. Now in the same pan, we're going to add some more oil, and we're finally going to add the beef in there. We're going to fry the beef for about 5 minutes. Then we're going to add our minced garlic. Then, when it looks like the meat has been cooked for about 70% of the way there, we can then add the rice wine. After the rice wine has been cooked off, you can tell when there's no more liquid in the pan. You can now add a bit more dark soy sauce. And now adding a little bit of oyster sauce. Then we're going to add some water. Because we have already mixed the beef with some cornstarch, it's now going to form a sauce. It's going to become thick. And for the last part, we're going to combine everything together, including the white onions and the green part of the green onions. I'm going to add a little bit of black pepper. Okay, cool. So this is how the pan looks like now with the beef and the onions all together. Okay, so this dish looks about done. Let's go to the plating part. Okay, so this is how the beef looks like when it's plated up. It doesn't look too bad, right? It looks pretty appetizing. It looks like something I will buy in a restaurant. Now to the part that I've been waiting for. It's now time to try the dish, try the beef, and rate from 1 to 10. The beef is very tasty and savory because of the oyster sauce and garlic. It has nice caramelization from the onions. It feels healthy for some reason. I guess it's because it's homemade. I'm going to rate this dish a 9.5 out of 10. If you enjoy Chinese food and you like beef, especially stir-fried beef and onions, this is one of those dishes where you actually have to try. It's very good. Do you like Chinese food? Do you like stir-fried beef and onions? What do you usually get in Chinese restaurants? Let me know. Anyways, that's all for today. Thank you for passing by.